Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Eaton, and today we're talking about the habits that have made me more successful. And truly, if you're anything like me, then you've probably been on both sides of the personal growth journey. I always say it's not like a linear thing. It's not point A to point B. Sometimes you're in that like season of, oh my God, I'm thriving. And sometimes you're like, why the hell am I here again? Why am I crying today? So today I'm pulling back the curtain on actual, tangible, real life habits that you can start today that I feel truly move the needle in my life and business, not just fluffy mindset stuff or good ideas or good morning routine, but the real things that I've done personally on a daily basis that make me feel more powerful in my life, more aligned, and definitely more successful. So these are my shifts that I feel like have helped me really step into my power when it comes to owning my life. One of the things I share with people a lot is that I used to be a really inconsistent person. So these are the things that have helped me become more consistent and really step into a version of myself that I like, that I enjoy, that I'm proud of. So, number one, habit tracking, habit tracking, habit tracking. I have a bullet journal. If you're not sure what a bullet journal is, go on Pinterest and look it up because it is life changing. I am not somebody who is going to be consistent without a reminder. I have too many things on my mind. I have the mental load of a mother. I have two businesses. Like, I don't have the space to be like, did I do this today? Or, oh, this is something that needs to be done today, especially when it comes to personal growth, because sometimes I don't have time to do non personal growth things. Sometimes I've got laundry piled to the ceiling. So, when it comes to actually thinking of the habits that are going to make me a better person, because I think that one of the things I hear from my clients all the time is I know that I feel better when I do this, but it's just like I don't know how to get myself to do it. So, this is the key, right? You're going to get a journal that is specifically for your habits. You were going to make a chart. Again, you can look online. This is a great like TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, and you are going to write out the days, so 1 through 30, 1 through 31, whatever month it is. And then you are going to pick 3 to 5, if you want more, you can do more, habits that you want to do on a daily basis. So mine, for example, are read for 10 minutes, a non-help or a non-fiction self-help book. Meditate for 10 minutes. I'm not trying to do anything for a long period of time. Exercise. Exercise can mean a number of different things for me. So that could be going for a walk, or that could be getting in like the most insane workout of my life, or doing aerial silks. And then I'll always do a manifesting. Manifesting is really important part of keeping my mindset straight. And sometimes, depending on what I'm working on, like if I'm working on writing a book, I'll do 20 minutes of writing. So it doesn't have to be an insane time commitment, and you don't have to do all of them every day. But the goal is that as you do them, you make a little X or you make a little check mark. And the visual of this has helped me so much as a person who has a touch of ADD. Look at and check off, oh, I didn't do this today, or I didn't do this yesterday, so I'm going to prioritize it today. It's the visual for me and the daily reminder that these are the things that make me feel like my best self. And if I'm not actively doing the things that make me feel like my best self, then I know I'm setting myself up either for failure or repetition of the same kind of day. So, especially in phases of your life where you're feeling a little stuck or you feel like you just don't have a lot of motivation, a bullet journal can be really, really helpful because there is something in our mind that does not want to break that chain, or that we can use it as like, man, I didn't read for 3 days in a row. And that's something that I know I feel better when I do, or I feel more maybe inspired or motivated when I do, or I just like it. It feels good to me when I do it. So, you're going to be able to come back and create that X and start that chain again. My tip for this is to leave it in a place that you sit daily, which may be a little inconvenient. Maybe it's the dinner table, maybe it's your office space. I'm in my office, whether it's Monday or Sunday. Like, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. I'm in my office because I always come in there to do my habits. So I think that this has been helpful for me. And the other things I track too are just like financial stuff. So money I'm making, if I'm manifesting more money, I'm keeping track of everything I bring in. And I think sometimes, again, a lot of the things that are actually going well are already going well, and you're just not paying attention to them. Like, maybe you actually are making more money. Maybe your business is growing. Maybe things are going well and you're just not paying attention. I remember the first time I started tracking even like social media progress. And as somebody who is a content creator, because I have to be, because it's a reflection of my business, like it was really important for me to see like, oh wait, I actually am growing. And then I could look at the statistics of like what was working about what kind of content I was creating. So your job is to track the things that feel good and to keep it in a place where you can see it daily. So that's number one. Number two, I'm not going to preach a morning routine at all. Because I think that sometimes people hear about other people's morning routines and then they try to do their morning routines and it doesn't feel the same and it feels like another thing you have to do and people are just doing it to check off boxes. The point of a morning routine and the point of anything we do in the morning is to make us feel good and regulate our nervous system for the day. So again, mine is a series of things that I put in my habit tracker, but when it comes to a morning routine, I'm not rigid on those because if I know that I'm not wanting to do something that day or it doesn't feel good to me to do it today, or maybe I know my mind is a little too busy to sit and meditate and try to clear it, like I work with where I'm at and I do my morning routine accordingly. I actually had a session with a client the other day and she was like, I just feel like lazy. Like I can't get on like this morning routine and I should. And I'm like, okay, A, if we're using should, let's stop using should. But B, like, what do you like to like what benefits you to do in the morning? She was like, well, I really like to have coffee outside. I'm like, perfect. Does that feel like work? She's like, no, it feels really, really nice. I'm like, okay, the point of a morning routine is to set you up for a successful day. If you're forcing or pushing or just doing things to check off a list and you're not feeling any feelings from it, you're not feeling relief or connected with yourself or grounded in it or lighter because of it, then it's not for you. So, do I think we need to set aside time for ourselves each day? And a morning routine is a good idea to start that? Yes. But you can also do that in the middle of the day if you want to during your lunch and that feels better. You can also do that at the end of the day. So when we're creating a routine of any kind, and you're always in a routine, it's just either benefiting you or not benefiting you. Your job is to assess whether the things you've included in your routine are actually working for you. Number two, okay, so I work from home. I've worked from home for the last 6 years, and in that time, I got progressively uglier. It's just me being honest, right? In that time, I stopped doing my hair and makeup. My hair is always in like a bun on the top of my head, like a messy, like chaotic bun, right? And then it would be like, oh, I'd spend like 4 days or 5 days since I've washed my hair, or like I'm in yoga pants and a sweatshirt. And the reality is that I was not getting ready like a version of me who already had it all. I was getting ready like a version of me who didn't care. And so I'm not saying you have to put on makeup and do your hair every day to be important or to be special or to be successful, but I am saying that the way you dress impacts how you feel and impacts how you own the energy you're in. When you look cute, you're like, wait a second, like I look hot today. Like I look good. This is amazing. I feel good. I look good. So whatever that means to you, and maybe you're like a cute little yoga set. Yes, I'm sexy. I'm hot. I don't care what that is. I'm giving you my examples, but I want you to be thinking about how would I dress if I was already the person I wanted to become? What would I wear? What would I be doing with my life? What would that look like? Your job is to tap into that version of yourself and make sure that you are acting every single day in accordance with a version of yourself that is more successful. And I'm not saying like there's times where I'll sit on a Zoom meeting and I have a pair of Louboutin heels. I will wear those for special business meetings. Like I will dress regardless of being on Zoom for the energy that I want to bring to the table. So I just want you to be really mindful, like, are you letting yourself go at all? Are you not taking good care of yourself? Are you not treating your body with kindness? Like all of those things matter, and especially what we wear, that helps tremendously in how we feel and the energy we bring to the meeting and the energy we bring to our clients. So dress for the person that you are ready to become. Be willing to go the extra step or put the extra 10, 15 minutes in to put on a little makeup or do your hair a little different or even just wash it. It can be simple. We don't need to complicate things, but think about how the energy of how you're dressing and styling yourself and the way your clothes fit and how you feel in your body is bringing to the energy of your day, to your kids, to your husband, to your job. A number, oh, I don't even know what number we're on. We're not doing numbers. fuck numbers, we're just gonna keep going. Maybe one of the things I've done that's been more successful is I play by my own rules. I don't like to follow standards. I don't like to follow rules. And I'm sure there are things that statistically work and chronologically work, but I like to really decide what I want to happen and how I want to make it work for me and feel into it. So if I want to say fuck the numbers in the middle of the podcast, like I'm not going to edit this out. Fuck the numbers, do what feels right to you, because I promise you, when you start listening to your intuition, things happen easier, they happen out of order, they happen better than expected. So there we go. Creating before consuming. So this could be a lot of things, right? This doesn't have to just be like content creation, although that's like what I think of when I think of creating or I think of writing, you know? So I think it's very easy to get caught up into a comparison trap when we are consuming, like this person's life looks great, this person's content looks great, this person's smarter than me, this person's got better camera equipment than me, this person's whatever. If we can create time in our life where we're not giving ourselves permission to consume anything before we play with our creativity ourselves. I've been talking, if you've been listening, I've been talking about morning pages through the artist way. And it really is about starting your day first off and just writing for the sake of writing. So if you're not a writer and you are an artist and you want to paint in the morning. If you are not a writer and you do like sand art or something, or you like to move your body and dance in a certain way. I don't care what that is, but I would love for you to tap into something creative in the morning before you do your content, or even if you are a content creator, planning your content out for the day, that's going to be helpful too. When we scroll for inspiration in our life, we end up feeling blocked, but play with the like, what would this look like if I were to just to do it my way? Like, what would be fun? What would be exciting? When we ask our brain questions, our brain always answers. So we have to be willing to ask better questions and not be caught up, because the reality is we are not going to create much output if we're constantly inputting. There's not a lot of room for that. Next, your mindset. We did get to the mindset part. I promise you there's more though. Here's the thing. I used to tell myself I was an inconsistent person, and therefore I was inconsistent. I would start something, I would stop something, I would start it again, and I would stop it again. And even with exercise and workouts, I'd get really into something and then I'd fall off the wagon. And if you're identifying yourself in this is for you, this part specifically, right? There became a point where I was just so sick of setting myself behind that I decided that I needed to start to create a different relationship with myself around these things, right? So one of the things I started telling myself is I'm every single day I'm getting more consistent. Every single day I'm growing in my own consistency. And what we tell ourselves, our brain looks for. And so my brain started looking for proof that I was a consistent person, that I was who I said I was. And at this point, I just can't imagine not being a consistent person. And there's still areas of my life that I am actively improving my consistency on. But for the most part, you'll see a post from me just about every day on social media, most of the time on every platform, at least on TikTok and Instagram. You'll see that I work out every single day. I just enjoy it. It's for my mental health. You'll see that I write every single day. That is something non-negotiable for me. So the consistency that we decide and the stories we tell ourselves about who we are matter. But there was a study done where they measured people's luck and people who felt lucky. And so people who just inherently felt lucky, and versus people who didn't feel lucky at all and reported feeling not lucky at all. And so they did this activity where they had them look through and count the images in a paper. And it was, a stack of papers. And on the second page, it said, stop looking. There are 42 images. And everybody who identified as lucky saw that and handed it over, and there's like 42 images. And everybody who did not believe that they were lucky kept counting, took a lot of time, and often was wrong about the number of images. So the point is that the stories we tell ourselves help control what we see in our world as proof, right? The people who reportedly were lucky saw that, all of them. The people who weren't feeling reportedly lucky didn't see it. So my point is that when it comes to being more successful, we have to start telling ourselves stories of success, of consistency, of things getting to work for you because your brain is wanting to look for what you tell it. So that's all on the mindset. If you want more on mindset, I'll go dive deeper into it in a couple other ones. But the other thing is I stopped blocking my time like a robot, right? I started planning with my energy in mind. I am very aware of the times of day that I am going to feel more tired, the times of day I'm more productive. I love a morning. I'm going to get a lot done in the morning, and I'm going to get a lot done until about 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, I'm going to feel a little lower energy, and then around 5, I'll pick that energy back up. So if you're aware of how you function and you're not hard on yourself about it, you're just aware, like my husband's a night owl. He could stay up till 4 a.m. just researching stuff out of interest. And I'm not like that. I need my full 8 to 9 hours of sleep, or I'm gonna be a nightmare tomorrow. So it's not really about just checking off tasks and loading up your calendar and block scheduling. It's about feeling into knowing how you best work and honoring that. I think that we try to copy everybody else's systems, but the systems they created work for them. And maybe they could work for you, and maybe they're almost quite there, but this is where you get to feel into like, okay, so how do I want to set my schedule up? How do I want to set my week up to be more successful based on how I energetically function? I actually had a great conversation with Jess Mallow at Piper Fox Social. And she was talking about how people feel differently on different days of the week. Like Friday, people are looking forward to the weekend, so they're a lighthearted mood. Wednesday, they're like halfway done with the week, so they need something a little bit more mindless. Tuesday is a great day for educating because people have more focus and are kind of like locked into their week. So there's a lot of shifts and opportunities, even with creating social content, for example, and just knowing where we're at throughout the week that can help us plan strategically to be better and fulfill our tasks in a better way. So that's something that's definitely helped me be more successful, is thinking about my energy levels, how I work best. And you might just start with paying attention to that throughout the day. Just noting, is it the same every single day? Is it different on different days of the week? Creating a little chart for yourself so that you can look at that a little bit differently. All right, the next one is making decisions faster. I used to say an indecision a lot, and I would go back and forth, and I would consult everybody about it, and I would just kind of sit in this energy of I don't know. And if you work with me, you know that I do not like that energy. I don't like that phrase. I think that phrase is phrase that gives the universe mixed signals about what you want. And I think at the bottom and the core of things, we usually do kind of know, we just don't know how to make it happen, right? We know what we want and we know the feeling we want, but we don't always know how to make it happen. And I don't need you to figure out the how, but locking in one way or another is going to eliminate the energetic, indecisive chaos, right? If we think that the universe is responding to us and our brain is looking for proof, then when we lock in one direction, we're able to see more proof and evidence quicker. And when we lock into indecision, we're going to see a little bit of something and a little bit of something else. And that is going to strengthen our indecision because our brain's only job is to be loyal to what we're looking for, which means if we're looking for, I don't know, we're going to see everything to not know about. And that's the truth. So I like to kind of give myself like 48 hours to decide. And sometimes I'll invite the universe in, right? I'll say, okay, I'm not sure about this. Please help make this clear over the next 48 hours. And I'll give myself, and this isn't pressure, right? I give myself 48 hours of sitting with it to see if there's more information I need to know. And I'll invite that in. Is there more information I need to know about this to make a like helpful decision? But the longer you sit in indecision, the more indecision you'll feel, the deeper that will become, and the more you'll feel trapped and stuck and like you don't know, and then you're going to say it, then you're going to vocalize it, then you're going to see more of it. So you can spiral in indecision for years if you want to, or you can invite the universe in, invite your brain to search for clarity, back off of it for a couple of days and just see what shows up and transpires. Because honestly, I feel like when we give the universe a chance to help us out, when we invite the universe in to show us the next way to go, things get very clear very fast. The last thing is I think one of the things that made me really successful is just becoming unavailable for certain things. I had a friend ask me the other day, like, I just like want to know how you make it to the networking events like all the time with kids. And I was like, I don't. I come to one or two events that are because my friends are hosting them and I make the most out of those events and set my intentions over those events. Could I go to 55 of them a month if I wanted to? Yes. I am not available for that. My priorities and the things that bring me joy are spending time with my family. And that's and I like being home. I'm a Cancer. Like I enjoy being home. I enjoy resting in my own space. And so I'm unavailable for the things that I know are going to drain or deplete my energy. I think when you are like becoming successful means that you cannot possibly do it all. And if you're not doing it all, then you have to really, really own and prioritize the things that will get you where you want to go, the things that do feel aligned and true for your energy, the things in people and places and situations that feel good to your soul. And anything else, it's an unavailability for. And you don't have to over explain or say no. You don't have to you don't owe anybody anything when it comes to your life and your decisions. But you have to prioritize what makes the most sense and is going to bring you the most joy or is going to build you the most wealth or is going to get you to the next level. Like you have to prioritize like how am I spending my time? And who am I spending my time with? I think that, even friends that are always out partying or whatever, like those aren't people that I can hang around with during certain times, right? Certain times in my life and certain phases of my life, that's fine. But I get to decide based on the phase of my life who I include, what I spend my time on. I'm very, very protective over my time. And that is one of the habits that if I could encourage you to look at, how are you spending your time? I want you to get protective over your time. You don't have a lot, but you have enough hours in the day to get everything done if you prioritize the things that are most important to you, if you prioritize getting off social media and not doom scrolling and not online shopping and not getting caught in that trap and not sitting and watching shows for hours on end. Like there's things that we use our time for that we are wasting so much time. I think that 4 hours on your phone per day equates to 17 days. I want to say a year. I'll have to do the math, but it was like insane amount of days for 4 hours on your phone a day. And I know as somebody who works from my phone, that is a really tough statistic. So I want you to be protective of your time and your energy. I want you to be careful what you're saying yes to and make sure the yes is aligned and in your gut, a correct choice before you do something new. This is going to save you. This is going to help you. And this is going to make sure that you are using your time wisely for building the life you want and not people pleasing and spreading yourself so thin that you don't have the energy to build the life you want. So these are the ones I have. I'm curious of what ones are speaking to you. I'm curious of what ones you guys have. So make sure that you share with me, that you DM me on Instagram and let me know what you thought of this episode. I can't wait to watch you be more successful. I think that you're on your way and I would love to help you. I am opening up my wait list for August for one-on-one sessions. And I have the Comeback Club, which in this month we are doing a nervous system masterclass. We just did a money mindset masterclass. It was so good. And I think you're going to love it. So make sure that you dive in, jump in, and let me know what you think. Make sure, as always, I can keep this podcast going if you share with the people you love, if you tag me on social media. It's always so helpful to me. So I love you guys, and I'll catch you soon.